Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, what we're going to talk about tonight is I genuinely think that the left just decided that gun control is going to be a main tenet of the 2020 midterm elections. CNN just came out and let the cat straight out of the bag. They laid their cards all on the table in this article. And I want to let you guys know this is what we're going to be fighting against in 2022. It is linked in the description box below, along with the methodology for this entire article, which is all about the idea that they're trying to sell that tighter gun laws reduce firearm deaths. That's the whole point here. But I want to show you how they're manipulating this, because this right here is what we're going to face. This is actually talented manipulation. Let's dive in. Like I said, it's linked in the description box below. I want to hear from you guys. And we are always trying to earn that subscription. We've got to garner together and build a coalition. You and me working together have achieved amazing things this year. If you feel like I've earned that subscription, please go ahead and hit that button, because we're on a mission. I'd love to have you along for the ride. Now, with that said, let's dive into this CNN declaration of war, if you will. Okay? So, first thing, I'm just going to read you the title and we'll walk through it step by step, and I'll show you the manipulation. States with weaker gun laws have higher rates of firearm-related homicides and suicides, study finds. Now, this came out relatively recently, about an hour ago, but notice it's not an opinion piece. This is actually presented as scientific fact. Let's continue on. I'll show you what they're doing. CNN. A new study published Thursday by a leading nonprofit organization that focuses on gun violence prevention found that there is a direct correlation in states with weaker gun laws and higher rates of gun deaths, including homicides, suicides, and accidental killings. Okay, so that's that 45,000 number they're always talking about. But interesting how they said a leading nonprofit organization that focuses on gun violence. It's Everytown for USA, the largest gun control group in the United States. CNN is referencing a study by a biased group as fact. This is big, guys, because as gun rights grow across the nation, they're going to attack it in the midterms. The study by Everytown for Gun Safety, there it is, determined that California had the strongest gun laws in the country. Hawaii topped the list with the lowest rate of gun deaths in the country, while Mississippi led the country with both the weakest gun laws and highest rate of gun deaths. Now keep in mind, they're saying deaths. They are not saying suicides, homicides, accidents, deaths, all encompassing, okay? But they're presenting it in a very specific way. Listen to the methodology. To compile its list, the group used data from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, looked at each state's rate of gun deaths in 2020, and compared those rates with 50 policies that they say are scientifically proven to be effective in preventing gun violence. 50 policies. They're ranking from 50 policies from Everytown from Gun Safety as scientifically proven. No need to question that. That's just the truth. Not the truth. Okay? Let's keep going, because this, I haven't seen it this brazen in a while. The research team then weighed the list of gun safety policies based on their efficacy, ranked each state on its implementation of those policies, and compared that score with the rate of gun deaths in each state, he said. Now, I'm going to walk you through what they did here, because this is a dual manipulation. But essentially, they gave an arbitrary number on their own scale that's rated off of their own policies, and it's not proven scientifically at all, but they're presenting it as fact on CNN. This is big, guys, because they haven't done this, like I said, in a while. The CDC's data includes homicides, accidental killings, and suicides committed by guns. According to the CDC, over 45,000 people in the United States were killed with a firearm in 2020. More than half died by suicide. Yeah, it's true, more than half. It's actually 2/3. You notice how 2/3 is a lot more impactful than saying more than half? Whoa. Okay. Now, I'm going to put a graph on the screen right now. This is what they're presenting as fact. Now, this has a dual purpose. One, it's showing you basically as a heat map and saying, whoa, this is bad, this is not good. But also, they showed and highlighted the numbers on the gun control deaths per 1,000 people on the right side. And then they highlighted the strength and power of their gun control laws on the left. This is meant to do two things. One, bolster their point. Two, really make an impact of, wow, that's really high. But do you guys notice anything really unusual about this graph I'm showing you? Because over the last year and a half that we've been working together, the gun rates, the homicide rates in big cities like Illinois, like that's Chicago, New York, California, and Los Angeles, those have been extremely high. Philadelphia as well. Isn't that odd that those places that are breaking records, and all we saw was gun records across, like gun violence records across the country, they're not highlighted anywhere near red. Wonder why that is. Well, let's take a look at the methodology. This is methodology that CNN actually represents as methodology for that graph. It links directly to Everytown for Gun Safety's website. I said that right. Everytown for Gun Safety. Check out what they're doing here. So, what you're seeing now is a graphical representation of the deaths per 100,000 people, and then you've got to go into the x-axis, strength of gun laws. Keep in mind, the strength of gun laws is an arbitrary number given by Everytown for Gun Safety. It's variable depending on an objective or a subjective opinion. Okay. Now, what you'll notice here is the numbers go up to 28% for Mississippi, and then they decline as they go farther to the right. But what they failed to mention is it's specifically gun deaths per 100,000 people. So every number that you see here, divide by basically by thirds. Take away 60%, 66%. So what that means is, in the worst case scenario that they're representing as a terrible thing, Mississippi, which is at 28.5, would go all the way down there into the low teens. If you go over to somewhere like Florida, which is a swing state, you go from about 14 down to 5. But they don't show you that because that would make it not as impactful. If you graph all the deaths, then it makes it so much worse. That's mostly accidents and suicides. And that's what I've got for you. I wanted to put this on your radar because this is about equating to a rally cry, a battle cry, a declaration of war against the gun rights advocates. Because this is going to be a thing, and you heard it here first on Langley Outdoors Academy. I hope to see you on the next one in the morning on the bullet points because we're going to hit it even harder. And hopefully you're along for the ride and we earn that subscription. I'm Braden. I'll see you tomorrow morning.